The Duke and Duchess of Sussex's explosive interview with Oprah Winfrey in March 2021 not only shook the royal family but also ignited a storm in the media, with reactions ranging from shock to anger and even disdain. Among the most vocal figures criticizing the couple was Piers Morgan, former host of Good Morning Britain. Morgan's response to the interview was filled with condemnation and disbelief, particularly regarding the claims Harry and Meghan made about their struggles with the royal family, mental health issues, and the racism Meghan allegedly faced within the institution. While Morgan's critique was harsh and largely dismissive, another prominent media figure, royal editor Robert Jobson, weighed in with advice for Morgan. As a seasoned royal journalist, Jobson offered a different perspective, highlighting the importance of empathy, journalistic integrity, and the responsibility that comes with covering such sensitive matters. In this video, we will explore the reactions to Harry and Meghan's Oprah interview, focusing on Piers Morgan's response, Robert Jobson's advice, and the broader implications for media coverage of the royal family. We'll dive deep into why these differing approaches matter and how they reflect the ongoing media battles over the Sussexes' place in the British monarchy and the media landscape. Piers Morgan has built a reputation for his outspoken and often controversial views, which he regularly shared on Good Morning Britain. When Harry and Meghan's Oprah interview aired, Morgan wasted no time voicing his opinion. He accused the couple of lying and playing the victim, claiming that they were seeking attention and sympathy through their revelations. Morgan went as far as calling the interview self-serving, describing it as a calculated move to boost their profiles at the expense of the royal family. He was particularly vocal about the allegations Meghan made regarding her mental health struggles and the racism she said she experienced. Morgan was adamant that Meghan's comments about feeling suicidal were false. He even accused her of using her mental health struggles as a publicity stunt. His dismissive attitude sparked a fierce backlash from viewers, with many accusing him of being callous and insensitive, particularly toward those who have genuinely struggled with their mental health. One of the most controversial parts of Morgan's response came when he insisted that he did not believe Meghan's story about being suicidal. Morgan openly stated on air that he did not believe Meghan, even though the Duchess had been open about her personal struggles in the interview. This led to an outpouring of complaints to the UK's media regulator, Ofcom, and caused Morgan's eventual departure from Good Morning Britain. The public uproar reached its peak when Morgan refused to apologise, stating that he stood by his position. Morgan's reaction was not just a matter of personal opinion, it also ignited a larger debate about the role of the media in amplifying or dismissing the voices of those in vulnerable positions. While Morgan's defenders argued that he was simply exercising his right to free speech, many saw his refusal to engage with Meghan's experiences as a reflection of a deeper societal issue, the dismissal of women's voices, particularly women of colour, in the media. While Piers Morgan's reaction was dramatic and filled with hyperbole, Robert Jobson, a respected royal editor, took a different stance. Jobson has been a journalist for decades and has reported extensively on the British royal family. Known for his insightful and often measured commentary, Jobson's views on the Oprah interview were more nuanced. Jobson, who also commented publicly on the interview, stated that while he disagreed with some aspects of the Sussexes' approach, he recognized the importance of handling such sensitive topics with care. Jobson's criticism of Harry and Meghan's interview was focused on the idea that their decision to air such personal grievances in a public forum was inappropriate. He argued that it was self-indulgent and selfish, especially given the fact that the monarchy itself could not publicly respond or defend itself. He pointed out that the royal family is bound by tradition and duty, which makes it difficult for them to directly engage in such public disputes. For Jobson, the interview represented an unfair attack on an institution that, in his view, could not defend itself properly against the allegations. However, Jobson did not condone the way in which Piers Morgan responded to the interview. While Jobson shared concerns about the interview's tone and content, he also recognized the importance of approaching such sensitive topics with empathy. Jobson expressed that while the media has a duty to question the claims made by public figures, it must do so responsibly. This means understanding the emotional and psychological weight of the issues at hand, especially when it comes to mental health and allegations of racism. In his advice to Morgan, Jobson emphasized that journalists should be careful not to dismiss people's lived experiences, particularly those involving mental health struggles or racial discrimination. While Jobson acknowledged that the interview raised important questions about the royal family and its treatment of Harry and Meghan, he believed that journalists should aim to report in a way that balances skepticism with sensitivity. Jobson's perspective is rooted in a broader philosophy of responsible journalism. He advocates for a media environment in which reporters can challenge the narratives put forward by public figures, but do so in a way that respects the dignity of those involved. This approach, Jobson suggests, helps maintain journalistic credibility and prevents the spread of misinformation or unnecessary harm. The differing reactions of Piers Morgan and Robert Jobson also underscore a broader issue within the media, the role of journalism in covering the royal family. The British royal family has long been a subject of fascination for the press, and the media's relationship with the monarchy has been fraught with tension for decades. On one hand, the monarchy represents an institution that is steeped in tradition and duty, and it is often seen as above reproach. On the other hand, the personal lives of royal family members, especially Harry and Meghan, have been fodder for sensational headlines and intrusive coverage. Harry and Meghan's decision to step back from their roles as senior royals in early 2020 sent shockwaves through both the royal family and the media. Their subsequent revelations about their struggles within the royal family, combined with their decision to live independently in the United States, challenged long-standing narratives about the monarchy and its members. The Oprah interview was the culmination of this shift, providing the couple with a platform to air their grievances and discuss their personal journeys in a way that had not been done before. For many media outlets, including Piers Morgan's Good Morning Britain, the interview represented an opportunity to criticize the couple and reaffirm the importance of the monarchy in British life. Morgan's approach was marked by disbelief and mockery, emphasizing the notion that Harry and Meghan were ungrateful and seeking attention. However, for other media professionals, like Jobson, the situation called for a more measured response, one that acknowledged the complexities of the issues raised while also recognizing the responsibility of journalists to report with empathy and care. Jobson's advice to Morgan is part of a larger conversation about media ethics and the responsibility that comes with being in the public eye. In an age where social media and traditional journalism are often blurred, the lines between opinion and fact can become difficult to distinguish. For journalists and commentators, this poses a challenge. How do you maintain credibility while also giving voice to individuals who may be vulnerable or facing significant personal challenges? The media has a duty to hold those in power to account, but this must be done in a way that does not harm individuals or perpetuate harmful stereotypes. In the case of Harry and Meghan, their experiences with racism, mental health struggles, and their decision to step back from royal duties have been deeply personal and emotionally charged. For Jobson, the responsibility lies in acknowledging the seriousness of these issues, even when there are disagreements about how they are presented. The aftermath of Prince Harry and Meghan Markle's Oprah interview has sparked a fierce debate about the role of the media in shaping public perception. Piers Morgan's reaction, marked by skepticism and scorn, stands in stark contrast to Robert Jobson's measured approach, which advocates for empathy and journalistic integrity. Jobson's advice to Morgan highlights the importance of responsible reporting, particularly when covering sensitive topics like mental health and racial discrimination. As the media continues to navigate its coverage of the royal family and the Sussexes, the lessons from this exchange between Morgan and Jobson are clear. Journalists have a responsibility to balance skepticism with compassion, to question without demeaning, and to report with the understanding that the individuals they cover are not just public figures, but people with complex, lived experiences. The conversation about how the media should engage with figures like Harry and Meghan is ongoing, but one thing remains certain: the media's approach will shape public opinion for years to come.